gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Jonah, man. We need to get a Raiders chant, man. Give us that Raiders, man. Hey, man, long overdue. But what we talked about, man, do it together as a team, man. Hey, listen, proud, man, honestly. The fight, the effort, the ups and downs over the last whatever amount of weeks, man. But all that doesn't matter because this is the best field in the world. I don't give a get it once, twice. We heard the song. All he says is we want to win, man. Just keep building. But enjoy these moments, man, because we know how hard they are, man.
Let's go. Family, I 3, 1, 2, 3.
Antonio, how are you feeling about this win afterwards?
Long overdue. Good to see all those smiling faces from our players, our staff, everybody involved in the organization. Obviously, you don't want to go through what we went through over the last 10 weeks, but that's behind us. I thought it was a great win. Great job by our home crowd. Thought they were very loud, active. That was positive for our defense, especially in certain situations. And I thought it was very efficient by our team. I'm very proud of this group being resilient, blocking out the outside noise and playing for one another.
I know that you do not like to make things about you, but tonight you were running up and down the sidelines with Jake and other guys. For you personally, just the man, what did this win mean to AP?
Yeah, it was good. Just to stop talking about losing. It's all about winning. That was the song that they were playing when we walked to the locker room. It's always a good feeling because you put in all this work and to have repeated losses and then put that to the side and just watch the team victory, right? What these guys playing for, all this BS noise on the outside. Like I told those gentlemen in there, it's all about us. It doesn't matter about the outside noise.
Coach, for the part of Raider Nation that is focused on the first overall draft pick conversation, what is your response to them?
Talk to Thompson, let's go.
Coach, what was your initial message to your team after this win?
Good draft. Message for Raider fans who are upset that you guys fell down the draft board?
No comment.
I guess just the attitude. Can you talk about the attitude the players have after the game and the attitude today, and just how important that is to see the effort that they put in and get it and what it means to them?
Yeah, man. Look, we work 80 hours a day, or 80 hours a week. Staff, players come here. They're 40+ hours to work. We don't do this to lose. We don't do this for anybody's fantasy football team. We don't do this for anybody's drafts, projections. None of that shit matters to us. Only thing that matters is winning. And that's all we want to do.
All right. Wait, where's the music? I got it. All right, Asylum, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man. It's we're here. It's Christmas Day, and we're giving the gift. I would say, what is our gift to everybody? Well, we are the gift because we're here and we're present.
right here. This right here brings back to Raider Nation on Christmas Day.
Yes, we are present, so we are your presents for today on this Wednesday Christmas evening. Now, Asylum, let's be more festive. I need you to put these Christmas lights on for me, please. Can you do that for me, please, real quick?
I got it right here.
There it goes. There it goes. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got the Christmas decorations back there. All right, here we go. We're all full festive right now for this show. Everybody, Merry Christmas, and thank you for choosing the Cage Match as your Christmas entertainment.
You get what you get. You like it.
All right, real quick, let's go into our favorite segment, the shameless plug, and I'm ready. Here we go.
All right, everyone, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe, give a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that bell. That way you know anytime a video short or meme drops on our channel so you can check it out. Get us in that algorithm. If Roger Goodell wants to be a Grinch and fuck with us today, you can catch us on Facebook. You like that, huh? On first the Oakland Raiders Savage page or my page, Asylum. And then we'll let you know when to come back to YouTube, then you just come back to YouTube and go back to normal. Take it away. Oh, I'm sorry, not yet. Oh, my bad. When you're done, go to WGG. Sorry, getting ahead of myself.
I know someone hit the eggnog too early.
I've been hitting it all day. Go to WGG, get some energy because obviously you're going to need it because of all this alcohol we've been consuming today. When you're done ordering, put Cage Match in the discount code, one word, Cage Match, one word, to get 10% off your entire order. Now go.
And like we always say, because we finally got to win, whether you like it or not. When you think of wins, think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of Dubby. Go to the discount code box, put Cage Match, CAGEMATCH, 10% off your whole order. And you can also put eggnog in your Dubby cup, okay? So go to Dubby. Go to WGG.com. Oh, no, .com. WGG. All right, anyways, go there, get your discount, and help us out. And also, remember, go to the Compa Fabian's page, his store, RaiderNationForLifer.com. That is www.r4lifer.com. Go there and check out his merchandise. And I don't have his hat on today, but usually I wear a hat made by the man himself, Fabian. That just means that I need to go and order more and update my hat collection with his merchandise. Shouts out to Fabian.
You and me both.
Yeah, shouts out to Fabian, the compa out there, doing a lot of work. He got great merch, so check that magazine. Check that catalog out. And also, shouts out to Raiderman, Raiderman19.com. I know we talked about it. Me and you, Asylum, talked about it the other day, talking about maybe picking up his show on this channel. It's not a thing yet. It's an idea, you know. Just got to get the analytics and all that, whatever. You know, I'm using big words. So, but shouts out to Raiderman19, Raiderman19.com. He's got a birthday coming up real soon, so maybe we can get him on for that. And you know, shouts out to Raiderman and appreciate Raiderman for all he's done for the show. You hear his intro. You hear his Raider Oath at the end of the intro, and we want that Raider Oath to come up at the torch, and and go there, have him at the torch. Recite the Raider Oath, and maybe that will fire up the players, and we'll see more wins, you know, going on with the Oakland Raider mystique, bringing into Las Vegas at the Allegiant Stadium. All right, Asylum. Nobody came to see us, you know. They came to see the gift that we bring, and that is every other Wednesday, and luckily for us, exactly. Luckily for us, it always, we are talking about it, it always falls in the important times of the season, and it also, like today, fell into the holiday season, which is Christmas. So, if you can get her intro ready, let's bring on our, I don't want to say guest, because she's not a guest, she's a staple on the show. So let's bring in our professor. She knows a lot, and she hits you with that knowledge, our hard-hitting professor, Miss Peggy. Let's go.
Raider Nation. That's what she is. She's the Mike Tyson of Raider Nation.
The Mike Tyson Raider Nation. Information hits hard. Okay, vintage. Okay, vintage Mike Tyson. Okay,
vintage. Yeah. Not the Jake Paul Mike Tyson. We're talking about the early Mike Tyson.
Yes. Let's go, Miss Peggy. Let's bring her on. Here we go. Hello, Miss Peggy.
Hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas. And I am with two guys that I'd love to have beers and shots with. I mean, it feels so comfortable to be with y'all. Hey. Shout out to my New England booster, Jeff, and Sacktown's mom.
Fuck Jeff.
Could use some prayers. And I'm hoping that everybody can reserve a prayer or two for her health, hoping that she gets better. But let's swing right into two things, because I've been battling hand-to-hand combat for the last 2 years with half of Raider Nation, who was actually upset that we won the game. Can you imagine?
I'm happier than shit we won that game.
Can you imagine a Raider fan, someone who calls themselves Raider, actually hoping we lose? And here's their excuse. Oh, we wanted the best thing to happen, which was that we get the number 1 pick.
That's not the best thing.
Keep in mind now, Asylum, before you go, keep in mind now, the record, the hit and miss record of the number 1 pick, number 2, number 3, quarterback picks in general, it's a crapshoot. I don't care how big he was in college, how certain you are that he's the next great coming. Look at C.J. Stroud today on TV. Just as you think that somebody is the most wonderful, greatest quarterback that was ever drafted in NFL history, knowing all that, knowing it's a crapshoot, knowing we don't have an offensive coordinator, they still want that number 1 pick. Go ahead, Asylum. I'm just
no, I
mystified.
I made it clear. I made it clear. You said it. It's a crapshoot in the draft, period. You do have your gems, such as, the Brock Bowers, shit like that. You do have those players that are a better chance of being a home run than not, but those are far few and in between. Everybody in the draft, especially in the first round, is a crapshoot. I have a better chance of going hitting black on the roulette table than I do that these players come out and be what everyone's hoping that they could be to save a franchise. You just brought up C.J. Stroud. For granted, his rookie year, fucking great, awesome, looked great, just like Jaden Daniels did. But now that there was tape out on him and he's in year 2, how well is he really looking? How well is he really looking?
The sophomore slump. And Savage, you can tell for every C.J. Stroud, help me out with this, there's a Kenny Pickett, a Carson Wentz, okay? And there's a guy, 3 or 4 guys that never made it off the boards. I mean, and part of that is it's who picks you.
Yeah.
Not the order, not where you were picked. It's the team that picks you.
It's like,
is the scheme right? Is this right? Do they have the pieces in place to be able to make you succeed? And all that. And generally, the teams at the top don't have all the pieces in place to make them succeed. So I don't understand how you think you're going to bring in a quarterback and he's going to be the savior of the fucking team next year with an O-line that hasn't done shit all season.
Savage, come on.
Well, and I remember when the last time we had an overall number 1 pick and we ended up picking Jamarcus Russell, but we didn't really have a structure to build for a Jamarcus Russell. And he had, he wasn't a hard worker and all that, whatever. But even the head coach didn't want to pick him, and Lane Kiffin. So, and he's the offensive guy, Lane Kiffin. So if you're gonna have, we're kind of stuck in what are we going to handle first, because you have a head coach that a lot of folks believe won't be here next year because of what happened this year. You have an offensive coordinator right now that might not be here because he's being courted by Belichick, to go to North Carolina. So we don't know it, and there's a lot of things. Who's going to be our offensive coordinator? We need offensive linemen to protect that quarterback. We need a receiver, number one, to complement Myers and Brock Bowers, to add to those weapons. We don't know how McCormick is when he comes back, because we all thought that Zeus was going to be the guy, and that didn't work out. That could be blocking scheme. That could have been Getsy, whatever. But now we got McCormick. But now he's on IR. He has to come back, and he should be fine and all that with the ankle. But there's a lot of other questions. And, yeah, quarterback, generational quarterback, whatever. It looks nice. It looks great. But we're living, I just think it's also a part of, we're tired of seeing the turnover at quarterback before Derek Carr. So between Gannon and Derek Carr, and then now from Derek Carr to now, and it's only been 2 seasons since Derek Carr had left. So, but we're going to face it again. Also, if we do switch another coach, now we're going to deal with the turnover of another coach and all this other. So there's just a lot of questions.
But more importantly, Raider fans continue to get the chicken and the egg question wrong. You have got to, and I know everybody that knows football agrees with, you have got to get that OC position filled and settled by the right guy before you're thinking about drafting a quarterback, which I agree we should draft a quarterback. But the 2 guys names I keep mentioning, help me out here, they're not the only quarterbacks. And oh, by the way, the draft that Telesco got Herbert was like the number 6 quarterback. Nobody even paid attention. Matter of fact, they had dropped him to the 2nd round. Why does it have to be those 2 guys? You need an OC to evaluate which quarterback in this draft is going to fit the offensive system I have. We don't even have an OC, guys. We don't. You can't talk about quarterback until you talk about the guy that's going to develop, train him, who's going to put the passing game together, the running game together, rebuild that O-line, go get us a number 1 receiver that defenses actually fear, not a rookie, hint, and find a way to put it all together. You're asking for an OC to do 5 things at one time. 5 things. And then y'all want to throw a rookie quarterback around his neck, too, on top of that.
And that's done. Not me. And that's what they Jaden Daniels in Washington, they're using. I mean, I don't want to say they, but that's used as an example. But year one with the coach that he was familiar with in Kingsbury. So, and I know we could have Kingsbury, but there was no room for Telesco to move up to get to Chicago's pick of number 1 or Washington's pick of number 2, because they weren't going to budge. So there was no way unless you sell the farm. I know folks are, we should have sold the farm, but
wait a minute. But if you had, let's go there, take that journey with all those should have got a draft pick this year. What would that young rookie would have faced? First of all, his OC would have been Getsy, who you had to fire mid-season. Second of all, he had no O-line. They don't block at all, okay? They don't move. The third thing the young guy would have faced, no running game. And the fourth thing, of course, no field stretching wide receiver. Nothing deep going on. It would have been a nightmare for anyone coming into this mess. We got to fix the mess before we bring in a young guy. But I have a feeling that Telesco has a surprise for you. I think he has an answer to all the tank for number 1 crowd. We're not going to get Shadir. I don't know whether he likes Shadir or Ward. What are you thinking? I think
I've heard different things. I've actually heard Telesco likes Cam Ward, not Shador.
Well, whatever the case is, and he might do that, but we're asking an offensive coordinator to do 5 things at the same time. And Raider fans out there demanding the number 1 pick, y'all not going to be happy with the results unless we get a very, very good offensive coordinator. I mean, top of the line, successful, experienced, smart, knows how to develop rookie quarterbacks. Hint, hint, hint. Someone who knows the AFC West, at least knows it, and the NFL. I mean, chicken and the egg. Where are we going with this? I don't understand. I'm trying to figure it out, and I just can't. But I cannot associate myself with anyone who hopes that the Raiders lose. I said I couldn't associate with you. Okay? Players and coaches cannot buy into that either. That is strictly a fan hallucination. A player and a coach can't be caught even looking like they're not given 100% every game. They have careers. They have futures. You are insulting them to even suggest that they wouldn't give 100%. What do you think of the Savage? I mean, the whole idea of somebody mailing it in.
I mean, like one, yeah, even Raiders are now 3-12. A lot of these players, they're still gonna play hard because they're still building their resume for either to get, re-sign new contract with the Raiders or for another team to pick them off them, whatever. So they're not gonna just kind of lay down for the team. And the same thing with like AP, he's not going to stick to a script if there is a script to tank, and then you're gonna fire him for somebody new. So you're gonna make me lose, and then you're gonna let me go because we lost. So to be upset at the team for losing, to be upset at the team for winning, they're not gonna just lose. And I understand, why are we winning meaningless games if we're trying to look into the future? Lose now so we can win later for a long run, and I understand that. But to be mad at the team, to be upset at the team for winning, like I'm a Raider fan, and we're used to. Unfortunately, I wasn't alive during the '76, Super Bowl, and during that era, from 1970 up until 83 was the last Super Bowl, 84 when they started kind of losing their Hall of players, whatever. My playoff era was 2000 to 2002. Those 3 seasons. That was my playoff era where I was alive and aware, had the awareness to understand what was going on as a Raider fan. And then after that, it's been 22, 23 years of inconsistent losing football. Yeah, we had 2 playoff appearances. We didn't win any of those 2. And it's just a lot of heartbreak and disappointment. So for me, I'm just like, to see a Raider win, hey, I'm happy. Okay, Sundays we can live life again. When they lose, don't talk to me. I don't want to deal with nothing. I'm pissed off. And then if it's the way we lose, the refs took that away. Like when I say took it away, but ending the game like on Friday night on that Black Friday game, at least that's the last play you saw. At least a bad taste in your mouth. So it's just like I want to see. For me as a fan, I want to see a win. I always want to see a win, and that's how I am. Might disagree, whatever, but I'm just tired of seeing losing. And and we've also been through a lot of inconsistent first-round picks getting, that you want to talk about tanking. We tanked the first round just about, with the exception of this last one. I know we have Telesco, a more experienced GM since Al Davis's passing. So I get it. What can Telesco do with a high pick? But I'm not going to be mad at the Raiders for winning a game, meaningless or not, because I'm just tired of seeing losing, and I just want to see winning. And regardless, whatever. Hey, I want to see these guys fight. I want to see that the team itself as a core is improving and is looking good. The win wasn't a great win, but like Al Davis says, just win, baby. It doesn't matter how good the win looks, just win. And I just I don't know.
Well, I'm looking like this. I'm looking like this. I'm trying to know what I'm trying to say. First of all, why do we have all this inconsistency? Where has it come from?
Changing the coaches.
Of head coaches that we've had. We've had no consistency at head coach. You're constantly changing philosophies, everything else, and you have no consistency there. So that's where it starts.
It's not
Second
updated.
of all, if you're a team that's willing to tank, if you're showing that you can tank, let's say Antonio Pierce is here next year and he shows he can tank. How hard is it going to be able to get an offensive coordinator or quality players to come to a team that obviously is willing to fucking lose because their season is quote unquote over? Meaning this game.
Make it make sense.
Didn't it happen to Brian Flores? Didn't it happen to him? They said that he's supposed to tank in Miami. Then it was not Miami. Was it Miami?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and then he gets fired.
Fired because he did not tank. You cannot ask a professional that's put his life's work into something, go out there and only give me half effort. That's for losers. Okay? You want to know what a real loser is. And somebody told me the other day, well, it's not Raider to lose either. Who said that we were guaranteed every time the Raiders owed you a win? Where is it written anywhere in the sports Bible? I want to know. The only thing that's guaranteed is that they play the game competitively and they try to win. Okay?
The phrase "any given Sunday."
Nobody owes you.
I was going to say the same thing.
Nobody owes you a winning season. Nobody owes you a playoff or a
Shouts out Jimmy
Bowl experience. Okay, that's the first narrative switch that the Madden junkies and the fantasy footballers are trying to make on us. There's some belief that we're fans and we buy this and that and we're owed something. Therefore, we own this team.
No, there's only one team that's owned by the fans. There's only one team that's owned by the fans.
That's Green Bay.
That's Packers. Exactly. That's the only team that the fans actually have the luxury of owning and have a say in this shit. No other NFL team.
They don't owe you anything but a good football game where they're trying to win. Other than that, all this other stuff that fans want, I want them to win. I want them to win. Well, we all do. But we know 24 years of bad decision making has got us where we are today. Continually switching head coaches, direction, culture, system, philosophy. And let me say this, for the other crowd, the fire AP after 1 year crowd, I've already put up statistics about some of our Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame head coaches, their first year. And I thought to myself, what if they fired Tom Landry after going 0-13-1 in his first year? What if they fired Bill Walsh after going 2-14 in his first year? What if they fired Chuck Noll for going 1-13 in his first year? Jimmy Johnson for going 1-15 in his first year. Again, that Madden fantasy narrative is trying to take over the discussion. 1 year is not enough to build a championship. And yet they expect it to happen. I mean, guys, help me out here.
Yeah, actually, that there's a segue into the one thing I wanted to bring up to you and Savage here for the show. It had to do with AP, and I know we've already got we've already got things coming up here about AP. We put them up earlier. Now, here's my theory. I want to know what you guys think about it and everything. My theory, based on we know for a fact right now, and I'll go into detail on this, AP is going to be there next year. He will not be fired this year. Okay? Now, we're going off of things that were said by Mark Davis and shit like that. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Here we go. By Mark Davis and everything else like that. Mark Davis said Brady's going to have some input, if not a majority of input, on who the next quarterback's going to be. Now, that statement there is telling me AP is going to be there next year. Because you tell me a head coach, you name one head coach who's going to come in brand new and allow Brady to choose his quarterback for him. That's not going to happen. They're going to come in and want their own damn choice for quarterback. Whether it's draft, whether it's free agent, whether it's on this, whatever it is, he's going to have his say on quarterback. So the fact that Mark Davis has put emphasis, and I mean heavy emphasis on the fact that Brady's going to have a say, that's telling me there's only one coach out there that's going to allow that to happen, and he's already coaching the damn Raiders, and that's AP.
And I'm not mad at, I like that. I don't want AP to have total authority over who the next quarterback be. Why? Because he's not an offensive guy, he's a defensive guy. What does he know? As a matter of fact, we already know by him allowing Getsy to be imposed upon him, instead of screaming to the high heavens, there's better guys out here, bring me somebody else. So we know he doesn't know anything about offense. He better get that knowledge, because his next OC choice is going to determine whether he has a job next year. And all those people that are demanding that the Raiders fire their second coach in 2 years, get rid of their fourth coach in 5 years. Imagine those numbers, okay? Who would want to come here? Sam?
Yeah, and you know, Asylum was telling me about that the other day, and I can see that angle. Like, all right, and I'm not saying that, okay, AP, you're gonna come back next year. This is a make or break year. I can see. I feel like I'm like looking at a crystal ball right now. I can see that. Yeah, let's just have AP back, whether it's a make or break or a lame duck year to just establish the foundation, whether it is with an offensive coordinator, kind of like when Tom Cable was head coach and now Davis fired Tom Cable after 8-8 and then elevated Hugh Jackson to be the offensive coordinator / head coach to be in charge of that 2011 team. Maybe it's going to be a situation like that, or okay, we'll just have AP, and then just to kind of keep the players happy because they're still playing hard for him, let's honor him one more year. Like, I can see that happening, because is this current Raider right now, the situation, whatever you want to call it, is this current time with the Raiders, is this an attractive job for somebody to promote themselves to be head coach and have to deal with everything that's going on? Because right now we're on shaky ground. That I don't want to say that McDaniels had started 2 years ago, but it was a playoff team regardless. If you say, oh, they got lucky, they got in. Hey, they were in a playoff game. To me, they were a playoff team. Build off of that. So McDaniels tore all that down. Didn't work out for him. None of us wanted McDaniels. Tura didn't work out for him. AP took over. There was a boost. The players loved it. They were playing harder. They were on the verge of going back to the playoffs again. Didn't work out. Lost to Indianapolis. But I can see, okay, bringing back AP, whether it's a make it or break it, prove it. This is your prove it season, or a lame duck season. But let's bring him back. Try to rebuild the foundation. Get that draft pick, whoever it is. We got Bowers. That's a key piece. Let's try to, whatever we got to do with Crosby when he comes back, because I know there's questions on if he's happy or not, if they switch around again and a new player, new head coach, and now we got new players, a new direction,
It's idiotic.
Yeah, so
anybody to suggest that the Raiders at this point we had enough of two things: constant head coach changes and the Patriot way. I hope Martin has enough sense. How many times do you have to put your hand in the fire to be burned? And oh, by the way, let me give 2 reasons why I think Pierce should stay. I don't know whether you guys will agree with me. Number one, this team is still playing hard for him, even though they know the season's been over. Okay?
I've been saying that for a while there.
Number 2, I love the defensive stability. We are working with backups at 5 key positions. And had it not been for Jack Jones letting that boy Thomas sneak by him, we would have held Jacksonville to 7 points. Okay? They are playing hard for him. And this is one of these situations, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. The chemistry that's going on in our defense, we need to keep that going, because our young quarterback, whoever he is going to need a defense to keep those scores down. I cannot see anyone that thinks disrupting the chemistry of this team again is a good thing. Only those in the Madden junkies and fantasy football folks who believe in instant change means instant success, right? That's the narrative.
You know who the main person that doesn't want a quarterback. You know, the main person that doesn't want a quarterback being drafted this coming draft is this man right here. You saw the way he was running around. He somehow find mobility. He looked like Eli Manning. He looked like Eli Manning in that Super Bowl. I think it's the same one the AP was in when he almost got sacked and just heaved the ball. It wasn't. Yeah, got the first down.
Wait a minute, guys.
He's got new names. That's either Aiden Vick or Crazy Legs O'Connell.
Exactly.
But
wait a
with
minute,
that name,
guys. That's even more making my case why we need a top OC, a smart, experienced, successful OC. He's going to tell us whether Aiden is really our guy, and we don't need to draft anybody. But right now, we don't have the brain trust, the offensive brain trust, to tell us who should stay, who should go.
Team Ramrod.
We don't have anybody. We don't have that offensive guru to let us know Aiden might be our guy all the time, and we don't even know it. Why? Because he's never had an O-line, never had a running game, never had a decent OC. Never had.
I've been saying O'Connell's the guy. I think O'Connell can't be the franchise quarterback of the team. I've been saying it all since last season.
You blaspheme! Oh my God! The people that want number one are clutching their chests. They're Fred Sanford, right? And Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you.
I've been saying it for the same reason you just said. It's no offensive line,
offensive guru to tell us whether, in fact, Aiden is the guy after all. Do we?
Yeah. I mean, and he shows flashes, and no folks will be like, yeah, but he could be a great backup. He's inconsistent.
They don't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, this play calling has been inconsistent. That Monday night game, and I know it's because Ritter was in, and apparently Ritter can't work under center. He can't take a ball directly from center. It has to be in shotgun, so maybe that hindered his play calling. But I mean, and then that came on the same week as the stories of Belichick is looking at Turner, at Scott Turner, as his number one candidate to be his OC. So I don't know if he was a little, distracted.
Sayonara. I mean, I thank you for your service, and your dad too, but he's not the guy for the job either. Okay, And one little thing just told me right away, Bauer's leaving the field on 3rd down. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is something that happened 2 straight games where he only had 3 catches each game. Why is he removed from the field when you need a 1st down? Even the commentators couldn't restrain themselves. They're like, your best, I don't get it, man. Their best player is standing on the sidelines and they need a 1st down, which of course we didn't get.
Maybe he needed a breather.
On 3rd down.
I mean, I don't know. Going, but I mean, I'm seeing things in the comments here about, AP picked Minshew. First of all, we don't know if AP picked Minshew.
We have no idea. What we do know, though, about Minshew is he didn't want to stay in Indianapolis. Indianapolis was committed to Richardson. Minshew knew he would never start as long as Richardson was healthy. Therefore, he and his agent went to find a team where he had a chance to be a starter. That's what he wanted. Little did he know.
Well, and my theory, my theory is because it's like, wait, where was the AP that was coaching last year? Where was that AP? Because this AP seems a little. I think like this AP this year seems a little timid on making certain decisions. And what I keep going back to is when McDaniels was head coach, he had no other a coach on his staff that had previous head coaching experience. So it was just AP and Coughlin in his ear every morning, telling him, hey, this, telling him this, that, whatever. Then he brought in Marvin Lewis and Joe Philbin, his head coaches, and he still got Coughlin. And then now North Turner, whatever. But I just felt like, and I get it. AP was trying to put all these guys around that he knew that he worked with or worked under to help him coach, be a head coach. But I felt like it's like when a kid is trying to, instead of just knowing what to do, he's just, I don't want to mess up. So is this right? Is this right?
Wait
is this
minute,
right?
Guys.
But I'm saying is that if you listen to when they in the beginning of the season when I asked him, okay, so who's going to be your starting quarterback? He said, oh, well, me, Telesco, and Getzy all got together, and we decided on Minshew because of his experience. He's a veteran, and we're going to go with him first, and we're going to evaluate from the first 4 games. When he decided to go with O'Connell, I guess maybe he just got tired of it. It's not working. I want to go with my guy. He said, no, it's my decision. I decided to put O'Connell in. So I feel like it's a lot of second guessing, and I know fans are going to be like, when folks are like, well, you're supposed to be the head coach. Why are you second guessing? And that's why I always put I asked the question at the beginning of the season. Yeah, we have expectations from what last year looked like. But realistically, for a guy who only has a year and a half of coaching in the NFL experience before he became interim, so now he has 2 years of coaching experience and 9 games as a head coach. Now he's a head coach. What happens if he doesn't do well in the first year? Are we going to like what And I posted that question in the beginning of the show, of the season. Like, now let's kind of come back to reality after what we saw last year. Our expectations, but what happens because now you're the real guy now. Now you're in charge of your own coaching staff and getting guys together. What if that first year doesn't go well? What's going to happen? What's going to be the perspective?
I just want to interject. Yeah, I just want to interject one thing. Being an ex-teacher, okay? Teacher for 15 years. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing is called a learning curve, okay? A learning curve does not go in a straight line up or down. It goes up sometimes and back down again, up sometimes, back down again. All the looks of indecision, all the things that, people are saying, he mismanaged this, he didn't call that. That's called a learning curve. The guy's never done this job before. Never. What are you expecting him to be an instant Joe Gibbs? No, Joe Gibbs had 10 years on Eric Coryell's staff before he became a head coach. You see, you can't judge Pierce by those standards, okay? D'Amico Ryans even had 7 years as an NFL coach on somebody's staff, 3 as a defensive coordinator, okay? Pierce has none of that. It's a learning curve.
And we expecting mistakes out of AP this year with time management.
What do you want? What do you want?
No, we expected it. We say the same thing about, what is it, JPJ and DJ Glaze, right? They made mistakes on the offensive line. But what do we say? They're rookies. It's their first year. They're going to make these mistakes. You have to accept these mistakes and see if they can learn from it. You don't know what you don't know until you don't know it.
Right.
And AP is learning what he don't know and the mistakes he's making. Did he make a mistake on hiring Luke Getsy? Yes, he did. We can see this.
He made a mistake. And what worries me is his next choice for OC, he has to get it right. I'm sorry, but that's going to be the test whether he should be a head coach in the NFL. You got to find the right guy. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I do whatever you can. You don't let people bring choices to you because not all those people are your friends. Even
and again, with the Minshew thing, the way it's gone, me and Savage know, we talked about this on the show. He was probably outvoted. There was 3 people in the room. We had, as he said, Telesco, Getsy, and AP. We know AP's guy. We know that's O'Connell. Getsy probably wanted Minshew. So it came down to a tiebreaker. And yes, in the end, was it AP's choice? You could say, but he got outvoted. He went with the choice of the majority, and it was obviously the wrong fucking choice. But he corrected the choice.
Was the wrong choice? Who would have been the right choice? With that O-line? With that O-line? And
even with that O-line, O'Connell was the right answer. It was his guy. You live or die by your choices. And right now, you know, AP's going to live or die. But again, my question was, with everything going and whatnot, you know, how do we feel about this whole Brady? Do we feel AP has the job next year?
Well, that's the thing that worries me about Mark. And of course, that's stuff going on way above us fans. Us fans are not involved. I can imagine Brady saying you really need a more experienced head coach. The question is Mark once again going to, for the second year in a row, fire a coach, okay, and bring in yet another Patriot offspring, okay, which I've heard the name Vrabel thrown around a lot. Vrabel, I'm going to say it out loud, is a racist. And Vrabel is also a guy who will sacrifice his own OCs and DCs just to save his job. He's been riding on that one Super Bowl appearance for the last 7 years, okay? And there is no reason why we should experiment again with the Patriot way. Why are we still involved in anything Patriot? That's what I want to know, guys. After what we experienced with McDaniels, have you learned nothing? What's wrong with people? Huh?
I say keep AP. I mean, I think he's going to be there next year based off of my theory that I put out here. And then with everything, I've said it how many times you and me had the conversation. The consistency you need at the head coach position, because when you do this, like we've done for the last 24 fucking years, and constantly changing head coaches, how does that work? So how is these, you know, in Raider Nation, these people who are asking for AP's head right now, how is that going to fix anything? You want to talk about, I've heard people say, the win, the Jacksonville win put us back 5 or 10 years. No, it has not. Changing from head coaching, changing the head coach, changing AP will put us back 5 to 10 years. Because starting from scratch again. And then he's got to build his team. And then if he doesn't work out in the first year and have a winning season, everybody's going to want him fired.
And it goes on and on. Again, the Madden fantasy football crowd is taking over the entire narrative about winning and losing in the NFL. They think that this thing happens just overnight. It cannot. You must be patient. It takes time. And with the destructive way that McDaniels ripped our offense apart, I mean, he left us with nothing. Savage. We didn't have by the time he got finished with us, we didn't have an O-line. We didn't have a running game. We didn't have a quarterback.
And where are games won, though?
We didn't have a passing game.
Plain and simple. Where are games won and lost?
In the trenches.
In the trenches. It's in the trenches. Now you have two trenches, defensive line and offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive line, now we've had injuries and going, but the defensive line, even what we have now, has played well. So our defensive trenches are pretty good. So what the one spot we have to fix is the offensive trenches, get the offensive line fixed, and somebody like Minshew, O'Connell, whoever the hell else you want to fucking bring in, will play a hell of a lot better because they're not running for their life. They got time. A run game could get established behind a good offensive line, whether they're a mediocre back or a great back. We've seen too many great backs not be able to run like they normally do behind a bad offensive line because they're too busy getting hit behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is where we go, Savage Asylum. We're right back to where we started. We need the OC. Pierce needs the OC. The organization needs an OC that knows what he's doing, that knows how to do just what you said. We have got to rebuild that O-line. We have got to get a running and passing game coordinated. We have got to get a wide receiver that people fear. Only that can come from the mind of an offensive guru. The question is, who? That's what we need to spend our time thinking about. Forget the quarterback thing. We need to
talk about it last time you were on. We had that list. We talked about it last time you were on. And I think we all kind of agreed on the same person off the list that we had. It comes down to one person and one person only.
But there are others, and I'm willing to listen. I'm listening. I mean, I loved your list. You know, I struck off a few. I mean, McCown, forget about it. He doesn't have enough. Anybody with less than 5 years experience as an OC is off my list. Now,
which it comes down to that bottom guy right there.
Higher wannabes. Guys who are passing game coordinators have never been OCs. We need a real offensive coordinator. And, well, Chip is one.
Eric Bieniemy's the only one that fits your criteria.
But again, there may be guys out there in college we don't know about. Right?
That's true.
That might be available, you know, come the new year. But nobody that hasn't been an OC should be on this list. We need a real OC, a guy that knows how to coordinate a running, passing game, build an O-line, get us a wide receiver, and now everybody wants to add to his task list, right? Develop a young quarterback from the draft. If anybody has any idea how enormous that task is, but that means we can't get a wannabe.
Some of this, it might not even be getting these players. It might be just utilizing the talent that we have on the team to the best ability.
I would do.
It's easier. Well, we have a speedster with Tucker. He could be disinferred if he's used right. I have not seen him used right since he's been drafted.
Well, the poor thing hasn't had an offensive coordinator now, has he?
No, but that's what I'm saying. He might not need a receiver.
He hasn't had an offensive coordinator to design plays that get him open, that get him single covered. You know what I mean? They don't use Brock Bowers underneath correctly to spring open Meyer. Why has Meyer never run a route longer than 20 yards? Why do I constantly see Meyer with 10-yard catches? Why don't I see him with 60-yard catches? Why? Catch and runs, posts. We need a guy who can think on that level. We absolutely, desperately need him. And we need the personnel to go along with him. And like you said, he really needs to know how to build an offensive line, or at least knows an offensive line coach, right?
Yeah, because you can use, I mean, the way how much attention that Bowers attracts with now they got like the number one corner of that defense is now shading him or shadowing him, following him around. You know, you can write plays, you can draw plays where you use Bowers as that primary receiver to open up the other routes, the Myers, the Mayer, the other tight end, the running. You know, I know they drop down. That there is, but a lot of folks, you know, looking at this right here. And you know, we went from tied with the Giants #1 down to 6, and I'm going to shoot this over.
We dropped down to 10.
I'm going to shoot this
we dropped to 13. That's a lucky
I
number.
don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's such a stupid discussion.
Well, I'm gonna shoot this.
Brain.
I'm going to shoot this question to Asylum because he actually was going to have this theory. So now everyone is saying that. You know, and this is where everyone's speculation. You know, I got an insider, this and that, whatever. But let's just say this is the truth. And Mark Davis had said this is hypothetically. Mark Davis had said, I don't care what happens. You need to make sure you get a quarterback in that first round. And I know everyone says that Mark Davis has the tight bond with the Sanders. You know, Deion and the son and all that, whatever. So we need to get a quarterback. But we fell down to 6 as of right now. I know ESPN said 7, Tankathon, where I got the information at 6, okay, whatever. Asylum had a theory that, okay, well, what if we don't get Shador? What are we going to do? We need to get a quarterback in this draft. We need to get a franchise guy to be behind center in this draft. And I know Asylum had a theory. So, and he wanted to bring it up. So, Asylum, this is, if we got to get a quarterback, and because if you look out here, the Giants want a quarterback. The Jaguars, not the Jaguars. The Titans need a quarterback. The Browns need a quarterback. As of right now, we're going to be 4th on that list to get a quarterback. If the Patriots decide we need to get a quarterback too, so
Patriots ain't going to get a quarterback.
So, well, I'm just saying, you never know. Because look what happened. Look what Minnesota did and got. Not Minnesota. Look what the Falcons did and got Penix after they just signed. Cousins to that big.
Patriots drafted 2 quarterbacks last year. They drafted 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Well, and let's be real. I mean, I looked at your list really carefully. I really only saw 3 teams on the list that need a quarterback. Okay. The Giants, because of their bad decision making, they're just like us, right? Yeah. Then I skipped down to the Titans, who thought Will Levis was the guy. And then there's a question mark on the Browns. I mean, the Browns have historically, for decades, been wrong about everything, including quarterback.
Johnny Manziel.
I mean, the list Tim Couch.
Right? I was going to say Tim Couch.
I mean, you know, didn't they even bring in that boy for the 49ers, Jeff, what's his name? They were doing everything in their
Jeff
power.
Garcia.
I was going to say
that. Right. They have drafted, just like the Bears, 7 years, 3 draft picks. What do you got? Because they have the same problems the Raiders have. No infrastructure. No stability. Poor little Caleb Williams done had 2 head coaches and 2 OCs, and he's not even finished his first year in the NFL. He hasn't even finished the season out, and he's had 2 head coaches and 2 OCs. You cannot develop without stability.
And if we would have drafted Jaden Daniels, he'd be on his 2nd offensive coordinator right now.
He'd probably be injured, just like Aiden.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Like Minshew with the broken collar. That's what would have happened to him.
Asylum, what was your theory that you wanted to bring to Peggy's desk right now?
I already bought it. That was the thing about him.
He does.
Because he has 2 quarterbacks on his list that he wants. I know I sent it to you. I don't know if you made a.
But
there you go. He wants Shador Sanders or Dylan Gabriel. And if we can't get Sanders, you got Gabriel right here, who everyone is saying, as of right now, could be a second, third, fourth round pick, something like that. Somebody that Brady wants, right? Brady's supposed to be the quarterback guru right now. We're going to go off of this right here.
Brady won't be choosing. That's why you have a GM. Why do you need Brady?
Agree. I agree. It's going to come to the GM, but I'm just going off of what Mark Davis said.
Where my booster, New England boosters here? F Brady. I mean, come on.
I say that to this day too. But the thing is, everyone's talking about whatever. There's other players that can possibly be groomed to take a position and go. We don't have to just stick with the two, and there's only two in this draft that are supposed to be game changers, whatever. Shador and Cam Ward here. Let's say they're gone, and we're picking 10th, 13th, whatever it is. And now you get an offensive lineman, the wide receiver that Peggy's wanting, a running back. You go into the second, the same thing. Now you turn around and pick the other Brady guy, the Dillon kid from Oregon. And now he gets to sit for a season behind Aiden O'Connell because we want to see what Aiden O'Connell could do with a proper O-line because we were able to, let's say we won out.
We're back once again
to the OC.
Election for OC.
No,
all roads lead back. All roads to cure our Raiders, to make them a better football team, lead back to the guy you choose for offensive coordinator. And this is something Pierce should have known, and Telesco should have known. And if they didn't know back in February of this year, they better know it now. They better get it right, because somebody's head is going to roll if they don't. The fans will not put up with another year of an offense stumbling around like a drunk in the alley. Okay? They're not going to put up with that.
OC is right. If you take AP out of the question and bring in a new head coach, OC is not going to matter, because you're right now, you're going to have that exact same thing next year because you have no consistency. You got a new scheme coming in. Half these players are going to be here only because they have no other choice to have them. They're going to get rid of the other half. And then the next year after that, those other players are going to be gone because you'll finally start getting to the point at having a team that's, to the head coach. Why are we going to screw AP here? He's had injuries. He's had things go against him. Yes, other head coaches have had the same things. They've had depth. But this is the first year we had Telesco to be able to start filling up depth positions, which he did a halfway decent job in this year. Because I'm looking at defense.
He couldn't be expected. He just got there. And see, that's our problem. All three of the triumvirate, GM, head coach, OC, brand new. It's just like what happened in 2012 with the three blind mice. Mark, McKenzie, and Dennis Allen, three guys that had zero experience. Owner, GM, and head coach. And what did we have to begin this season? Three guys that had zero experience.
And then we ended up drafting a quarterback, and he went through a second head coach in his first year, and we try to, win with him, but then constant coaching change and constant coaching change, and
fixing the defense. Never fixing the defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You see, those are the things. Now we've got the defense fixed. Don't disrupt that chemistry. This is what the Raiders' problem is. They get like they did getting rid of Musgrave after 2016 season.
Yeah.
Why are you fixing what's not broke? That's been our problem. We don't understand when something is fixed, you leave it alone.
Yeah.
Because
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. But now you need to turn and fix something that needs fixing. And you fix and you tinker, and over a few seasons, it starts to come together, and then the light bulb comes on, and that is how championship teams are built, okay? People don't understand that process. We've got, the here I go talking about the mad, right? Get the controller out. Oh, I want to change my quarterback. Click. I want to change my coach. Click. Yes. It doesn't.
I'm gonna make it on easy. I'm gonna go into this. Oh, by the way, I got Jaden Daniels on the team right now because I was able to draft him that way.
You can go historic, right? Let's go back. Go and get I know
Bo Jackson,
Papa Bear and Curly Lambeau and put them in as your head coaches, right? You see, that's what I'm saying. That mentality is rampant. And that's why they don't understand the time and the patience and the effort it takes. But guys, I gotta go. I gotta run cousin's party tonight.
Wait. Last one. Rickey Henderson had passed away this past Friday. Today would have been his birthday. Do you have any stories on Rickey Henderson?
And my condolences to everyone in the Oakland area and everyone across the country who loved this man. I'd have to say, the one story I have, we have a airport called Dulles Airport out in the Washington, D.C. area. And they always have the sports expos. All the sports stars come out there and they sell autographs, right, to sign. So we're out there like 2 or 3 times a year, right? Bo Jackson's in town. Oh, Rush Hope. This time it's Rickey Henderson. Of course, I was in line. I paid my money. But there was these 3 children standing there, and it was 2 girls and a boy, and I'll never forget, they were standing by Rickey's table and they were looking and seeing, and Rickey just knew instinctively they wanted his autograph, but they didn't have any money. Rickey, all of a sudden, while I was standing in line, took out 3 photographs of himself and signed all 3 and gave each one of those children a photograph. That's my Rickey memory. I'm like, what a gentleman. Those kids, they didn't want to say anything, but Rickey knew. He knew that's what they needed. And that's what he gave them. I felt connected with him, guys. Anyway, gotta run.
All right.
Talk soon. All right, 2 weeks from today, season will be over.
And then the real madness starts.
Right. We'll really get to talk with the grumblers about, oh my God, we're only picking 8th.
All right, Miss Peggy. Well, we appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you and your family. And thank you for always come on the show and just knowledge and everything.
Let's go. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. That's Miss Peggy with Peggy's Perspective. Here we go. All right, Asylum.
I almost pressed it too.
Unpopular opinions on this show, and I know we're going against the majority of those that saw the game against the Jaguars. The win. Like, why did you win?
They're calling it a meaningless win.
Yeah.
They're calling it.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah. No, I was gonna say, and I understand. I understand because the situation that happened going into last year's draft was we couldn't go up and try to, move up and take Chicago's place or trade up to take up Washington's place to get Jaden Daniels. And I know it was back and forth between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. So what are we going to do at quarterback? And then when it was pick 13 after pick 9? Was it pick 9 where the pick 8?
And then pick 12 that Bo Nix went.
Yeah, so and then it's like, well, all the quarterbacks are gone. Who are we gonna get? And then
I got a question for all those people bitching and complaining the day of the draft about Brock Bowers. Are they bitching and complaining today?
Brock Bowers is on the verge of breaking records, and I know it's like, well, I don't want to. I'd rather win games and all that, but yeah, in a meaningless season now, 3 wins and no, we're not going nowhere, and we're once again in a purgatory. Like, what's gonna happen? Head coach, a quarterback. With the draft coming up, what are we gonna do? We're in that position again where it's like, yeah, when we're lost and everything, and you got to try to find bright spots in the season for something to root for or whatever. And you see Brock Bowers. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. No wait, no, that's the wrong one. You see Brock Bowers. I have it down here. Sorry.
You got it? Do I gotta find it for you?
I got it. You see Brock Bowers. He's over here, breaking records, and this was our first round draft pick of last year, pick number 13, when Roger Goodell came up on the podium and he said, out of Georgia, tight end Brock Bowers, and a lot of us were like, wait, Brock Bowers? Don't we already have a tight end from last year's first round draft? But Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame?
Michael Mayer's the second round.
Oh, you're second round? Okay.
He was second round. He was a second round pick.
So
still a high pick. Not taking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. It was Wilson. Sorry. It was Wilson. Yeah. Sorry.
It's still a high pick. Not taking anything away from it.
Yeah. But you see, I guess one bright spot you can say is you got Brock Bowers, who with 3 different quarterbacks has found his way to have 101 receptions, 1,067 yards of receiving. He has other records.
That record right there has stood since 1961.
Yes.
Okay, that's 63 years. It's scanned.
Yes.
It's good. And Brock Bowers is about to destroy it. It's not even going to be. It's not even going to be barely. Now, taking nothing away from Mike Ditka, because he did it in 14 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in a much physical league also.
Much more physical, exactly. Taking nothing away from Mike Ditka. I'm not taking away from it. The fact that it stood for, what did I just say? That's 63 years.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it stood for 63 years, and Brock Bowers is about to beat it next game. There's no way in hell he can't beat this record. He has to have so many negative yards in order to not do it or not have a single catch, which we know is not going to happen. The Saints ain't going to be able to stop him. He's going to break it this game. Then you have, the rookie tight end receptions. He's about to beat the rookie wide receiver receptions. And then
which is basically the overall rookie reception.
Yeah. And then and there's still a great chance he beats the overall tight end receptions. Not rookies. Those, that's the overall tight end. The fact that the games that he's having, the fact that we've called him on this show a generational player, the fact that I've said it when he was in the draft, if you take away all the quarterback needy teams and the way the draft went, he was a top 2 or 3 overall top draft pick. He was the second or third best player in the draft that fell to you at 13. Yes, you didn't get your quarterback. But who's the quarterback's best friend?
The tight end. In the passing game, the tight end.
Yeah, in the passing game. Even in the run game.
Yeah.
Okay, with Brock Bowers has, what was it? The 2 Mackey Awards, I think it was.
Yeah.
Right? As well as was a finalist twice to be the best blocking person in college.
Yeah.
Player. Yeah, he usually goes to offensive lineman, but he was he was a finalist to beat out an offensive lineman twice so he could block. And then you got Michael Mayers to go with it. So you got 2 safety blankets for whoever your quarterback is. We know who we want on the cage match, we know who we think it should be. But let's say you draft somebody else. Let's say you bring in a Kirk Cousins or a Sam Darnold or fucking keep I'm gonna call it, like I said, it's either Aiden Vick or Crazy Legs O'Connell, because that running game he had going, was going. But whoever your quarterback is, I don't give a fuck who it is. You fix that O-line, and then now you got 2 star tight ends. I'm sorry. I know Peggy and a lot of people keep saying we need that big wide receiver. I think Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker are those receivers. We need a complement, maybe a number 2, maybe a number 1. I think Jacoby could be the number 1. He was the number 1 while we had Devontae Adams on the team. Devontae Adams was the number 2 receiver. So I think Jacoby could do it. Again, it falls to what Peggy said. Get an offensive coordinator who can design plays for these weapons we have. And then whatever weapons we bring in via free agency and the draft, we're going to get weapons. It's going to happen. We know, everything going. But the key thing to this team, fix the O-line, and we're a fucking playoff team. We have not lost a lot of games by blowouts. We've lost them by 1 score.
Yeah.
We lost them by mistakes. And fucking Kansas City, we lost it by 3 missed field goals or a botched snap. It wasn't, like we weren't in that game. All these other games, maybe Miami no, obviously the Bengals no, but the Steelers, a lot of these games aren't even showing what the, how the game was going at the time. It just was key turnovers or something else happening, allowing them to score late game to make it look like the game was worse than what it was.
Yeah.
Carolina, we lost hands down.
Yeah.
Okay, we lost that one hands down. We weren't going to fucking win that game. And there was that other, I forget which one it was, but there was another blowout we had on there.
The Bengals. Well, even the Miami game. So we'll say 3 blowout games, okay? Every other game we had a chance of winning. We were in it. Like Peggy said, you turn around and you're talking about AP. You tell me any other team at the time being 2-12 who's playing as hard as the Raiders are. Not every coach can get 3-12.
Huh?
Yeah. No, 3-12.
Oh, 3. Well, we are now. I'll say before the win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Before the win, 2-12. Before the win, right? We were in a lot of those games. Why? Because AP had the players playing. They weren't wanting to give up. They did not want, whether it's for their own resume, whether it's for the future, to stay on the team, to go to a different team. I've watched plenty of teams. Okay, let's go San Francisco 49ers, right? Have they showed the dedication? The players playing as hard as hell. They have to fucking suspend the guy because he didn't want to go into the goddamn game.
I was gonna say, the linebacker, he walked out on the 3rd quarter like, nah, I'm done.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Not every coach can get players playing as hard as these players have played for AP. Why do you want to give that up? That is something that you could use. That is something that Dan Campbell has going with the Lions. DeMarco Murray with the Texans. Okay? Yes, we talked about CJ Stroud not playing well, but they're still in the playoffs. He's still got his team going. Their defense is still doing, granted, they just came up against the Ravens and got their asses handed to them. But, they're still in this hunt. They're still playing hard. They're still doing what it takes. You don't see it. But yet, I still think the Raiders, if you look at the way the players are playing harder than DeMarco Murray's got the damn Texans playing. You're not, we're not a player away from being a dominant team. I'm not even trying to say that. We're an O-line away from being a team that can scare the shit out of a lot of other teams.
An O-line away from maybe having a consistent offense at least.
Yes. Which if the defense plays the way it does, a consistent offense. Now let's say we got 3 wins. Now you can turn around and say, well, maybe we're at fucking 9 wins right now, 10 wins because of some of those other games, because of being more consistent, being able to score the points, do what was needed, and go, and okay, well, I'll even go not just an O-line offensive coordinator. We know we have to bring in an offensive coordinator. We talked a lot about it this show, but it's true. We need an offensive coordinator. I don't think Scott Turner's the answer. We all kind of know he's probably going to North Carolina to go coach with Belichick.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to pick somebody, whether it's a young person, whether it's an experienced person. I'm with Peggy on experience. As of right now, I'd rather have somebody who's got OC experience. Off of that list that you had, the only one that qualifies for Peggy's, and I'm saying this for Peggy's, talking about 5 years minimum, OC, all this, is Eric Bieniemy. I'll take Eric Bieniemy. I'll even take Clint Kubiak. I like Clint Kubiak. I think he could help. I don't want to Chip Kelly. I'm not sure about these other guys. I would have to do a little bit more research. So off this list, I only see 2 guys that I'm willing to take to be able to do this. Bieniemy, and people keep forgetting, he dealt with Patrick Mahomes his fucking first year, his first full year. Bieniemy can work with a quarterback, whether it be a young guy, whether it be an O'Connell, or whether it even be somebody who has a little bit more experience, a stopgap, whatever the situation is, Bieniemy could do it. He's proven it.
Yeah.
But you go with, like Peggy said, who knows who's coming out of college? Who knows what other coaches and offensive coordinators are going to be fired at the end of this season? We don't know. There's going to be other options. Get yourself that experienced OC. Focus on the O-line as the biggest need and just pick and choose everything else. We have plenty of draft capital to bring in players. But if you keep fucking losing, nobody's going to want to come here. And if they do come here, it's shades of the fucking Al Davis years where you're overpaying a Richard Seymour, overpaying a fucking Warren Sapp. You're overpaying players at the end of their careers to come here, hoping they're still the same fucking player they were. And that's all because, oh my God, we want the number 1 draft pick. We fucking tanked. Why don't you come over here? We're a good team. They're not going to fucking believe that. Your record last year don't show shit. It's going to show halfway through the season you're going to give up. I don't want to go to a losing team. I want to go to a team that has up and coming. We have plenty of players
that's ready to win now.
Yeah, plenty of players that come and say they want to be part of the reason the Raiders turned around and came back to the glory days of the Raiders. But you can't do that if you're only winning fucking 2-3 games a season.
Yeah. And I know it's going to say, well, okay, all these losses we had, self-inflicting losses and, penalties are going back up again and all that. And they're going to point to the head coach, which, at AP. It's
he does.
Yeah. And you have to walk on that thin line between reality and using that as an excuse when you have key players that just fall off for like every week. We lost a key player. Now you got these new guys coming in, these guys, a rookie, a 1-year guy, undrafted guy, 2nd-year guy coming in, and they're trying to become that leader that they're trying to basically replace, like a Marcus Epps. You got Isaiah Palamau. He's trying to, I don't want to say he's trying to be like Epps, but he's trying to be that vocal leader back there.
He's trying to fill in that leadership
that
spot.
Void, yeah.
The void that Marcus Epps has out of experience. And that you can't do that with these new year guys, 1st year, 2nd year guys, because they don't have the years in the league that a Marcus Epps has.
Yeah, because you got these guys who, like a Marcus Epps, who has to quarterback the whole, defensive backfield. He sees the game, it's slower. He knows the different formations, the study and all that. He was just in the Super Bowl a couple years ago with the Eagles. So he sees it all, and he can be like, hey, Jack Jones, watch this guy. He might cut in, or hey, this guy over here, Jacorian Bennett. Jacorian Bennett, hey, watch this. This, whatever. He can, like Charles. I keep saying, like Charles Woodson in the second stint. Being that older, that coach on the field. That's like, hey, this and that. Get over here. You're out of position. Hey, that's your guy. That's your guy. I got this guy. Something like that. Which Isaiah has grown in that spot. One, because he has to, but no. One, because he needs to, and then one, because he has to. He wants to, he needs to, and all that. So he's become that guy, and you can see the maturity of his play has grown because he was put into that spot. A lot of guys who, like, let's say, Richardson,
Rookie.
Yeah, the rookie who's covering or taking for Bennett. You know, he's getting tested a lot because he's the rookie. They're going a lot towards him, so he has to learn how to switch coverage. Okay, this guy just motioned, so you know I got to switch over to this coverage if we're in zone, or I still follow him because we're in man. So he has to learn on the NFL level.
Just
more
like
exotic.
Did last year.
Yes.
Just like
yes.
Did last year.
Yes. So you have a lot of young guys who are now put into the positions into these positions where, like Wilson last year, where he was supposed to learn behind Chandler Jones and sit back and learn while he was rehabbing his foot. But then whatever, you know, he was going through Chandler Jones, he was thrown into the fire. But because he was picked number 7, he was the number 1 draft pick, number 7.
High expectations.
High expectations because of that tag of you were the first round. They compared him to like No. But they compared him to like the other defensive end that we had drafted, like Arden Key. You know, like, well, you were supposed to be this, but you're not that. So you got guys, you know, who are trying to they're trying to grow faster than they were supposed to learn on the job, you know, on the next level, but now they're getting thrown in the fire.
A good team are able to draft players and not have to necessarily throw them in. Some of them are good enough to get thrown in right away, but they're supposed to be able to develop. You have players in place to help develop these rookies, and then you can let so-and-so leave because of a contract didn't get worked out, and then he could come in because he sat behind that person for 2 years. Learned behind that person. He knows how to play that position because he was sitting, developed to play that position and go. The draft is not meant to fucking pick a person and put him in right away and have numbers like Brock Bowers. Yes, it does happen. Teams get lucky with it. You get 5th round draft picks, 7th round draft picks. Fucking Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. You get 1st round draft picks. Anywhere. It does happen. It does. There's spectacular players coming out of college, but those are rare and far few in between. Even Patrick Mahomes sat for a fucking year before he became the starting quarterback.
Behind Alex Smith.
Now we're going to call him the GOAT. He's the best ever to fucking do this shit. Da-da-da-da. But did he play? He played one game his rookie year. One fucking game. He sat the rest of it behind Alex Smith and learned how to play fucking football at the NFL level. That's the point of the draft. Your free agency is your bringing the experienced guys, filling the holes you need for those 2, 3, sometimes 7 years. You know, whatever it goes.
Those are the plug and play. Those are the plug and play players.
Those are the plug and play. Those are the ones that make your team better right a fucking way. Your draft players are meant to sit. They're meant to sit on the practice squad. They're meant to sit behind and be a dead piece. The only reason they're in is because somebody got hurt. Heaven forbid. And nobody wants that. But that's how that goes. That's how they get their experience. Maybe you're a bad team, just like us, and right now you're throwing them in there just to get them the experience because that's just the way the fucking season went. But they're not meant to come in and fix your fucking team right now, right away. And that's what I think a lot of fans have forgot about the draft. The draft is not a fix now. It's a fix later. It's depth and places or people to be able to fill in and take over for that guy who left because of whatever reason or decided his career is over and wanted to fucking retire.
Yeah. But, it's just, and because as a Raider fan, I want to see wins, but I also try to see, because it's part of, like, if you look at social media and everyone, who puts their opinion out there on, and it's like us podcasters, amateur podcasters like us, we're putting our opinion out there. It's like what 60-40, 70-30. Why did they do that? Why did they win? And it's because we want to. We're tired of the losing. We're tired of the losing seasons and everything. So it's like telling somebody who's starving. It's like telling somebody who's starving, just be patient. No, I've been hungry for the last 22, 23 years. I'm hungry. I wanna start. I'm hungry for victories. I'm hungry. I'm tired of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. When is it going to be the Raiders' turn? Well, the problem is that nothing's ever built. A stable environment's never been built here with the Raiders within the last. I don't want to put it all on Mark Davis, but since Mark Davis's tenure, continuing now Davis's last 10 years before he passed away after the Super Bowl, of just changing coaches. This ain't working. Changing coaches. I'm going to get this guy. Retread here. I'm going to try to diamond in the rough. He could be the guy. I'm trying to find the next John Gruden. I'm trying to find the next John Madden. Maybe I can find the next Tom Flores. He's on the staff, and bring him up, and the constant changing and missing and changing and missing and changing and missing. And all of us, I'm not gonna say, oh, well, you're wrong because you want them to lose. I'm not gonna say that we're right because I just want to see a win, or whatever, because I get it. I'm tired of losing. Now, if we can just hold off and be patient, they want us to be patient. Okay, I'll be patient for the rest of the season, so we can start eating again and having victories again, like the last time in 2000, 2001, and 2002. Then okay, then I can sit and wait because I know it's almost over. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Then we win a game. Now we're like 1-2 tied for the first with the Giants. Now we're down to 6, and the two main quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, they can go to other teams. And then when it's our time to pick, like last year, where it was like we ended up on 13. Now all these quarterbacks end up going. We were focused on Penix, and the Falcons got greedy. After getting Cousins, we're going to take Penix too.
Falcons got scared. They didn't get greedy. They got scared.
Yeah. But I'm saying is that you took all our chefs away, and we get Bowers. But Bowers is putting up a great season this year with 3 different starting quarterbacks. 3 different quarterbacks. So you got a corner piece there at tight end. We replaced Waller his first year under John Gruden. So the Waller trade, we were all upset about that when he went to New York.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give McDaniels credit for that, because when he went to New York, he went downhill and he retired. Yep. So we got a 3rd round out of that. Okay, cool. Okay. I'll give you that. I'm not going to, I'll give you that, McDaniels, whatever. Okay.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought McDaniels did, but that's okay.
Yeah. So we replaced him. Yeah, so we placed him, and we got the tight end to, that tight end, because in the AFC West, not only do they have quarterbacks, they have great tight ends in the AFC West, because they beat us all the time in the middle, but we got a corner piece. And then with Max Crosby on the defense, I know Jack Jones had flashes of greatness last year. This year's a down year. We'll see what happens with him. But Jacorian Bennett, who had a bad rookie year last year, he looked like to be the more shut down, more consistent cornerback before he got injured this year. So
it's all about stepping up. I mean, you got young people back there stepping in. Richardson, again, a rookie, he's had some good key plays, and he's also been picked on and made mistakes. The same mistakes that Jacorian Bennett made last year that everyone was calling for his fucking head. Called him a bust. He was thrown in the fire too. He was not supposed to start last year. And now this year, everything came together. He learned. And I'm going to say Marcus Epps has probably a lot to do with that. Working with Marcus Epps for the 2 years. That's the thing about a veteran. It's just not about what they do on the field. It's about what they do off the field. The coaching on the field and off the field that they do. Not a lot of players do that because they're worried about their job. But you got the Max Crosbys who help everybody. The Marcus Epps who help everybody. Right now, I'm going to have to say the Robert Spillane, which I'm going to say this. The one failure Telesco has going on this season is not re-signing fucking Spillane right now. This is way too long to not have given him a contract extension.
Now, see, now I'm gonna go steer to what Miss Peggy was saying of we need an OC to build an offense. You have all these rookies coming in, or first year guys, second year guys, undrafted guys on defense who are trying to take over for veterans. But we still have a decent enough defense to keep us in the games. Why is that? Because we have an established system on the defensive side with Patrick Graham in his third season, so there is stability on that side of the ball. So no matter who you throw in there, it's not going to change. Like Bill Belichick, just do your job, plug and play, But you have a system that people understand the nuances of what they're trying to do. Now, the talent level, or maybe the maturity level, NFL wise, is lower because these new players are trying to build that because they're young, so they might miss a play or they miss, a crossing route, and now they just got picked and that guy's free and there's no safety there, or miscommunication or whatever, because they're still learning that. But the defense is still structured enough and has, that stability with the veterans that's been there since last year that are still left and not injured or whatever, to where they can still kind of come together and at least slow down that offense to where they're not getting blown out because the Raider offense is not holding on their end. Well, the Raider offense is trying to figure out who's going to lead them, not just with quarterback, but with that offensive coordinator. And we're on our fourth play caller in 2 years. McDaniels, Hardigree, then Getsy, and now Scott Turner.
But
Scott Turner and North Turner. So, yeah.
What was the key word you said in that statement, though?
Depends on defense, stability.
Stability, consistency, continuity. 3 different words that mean the same fucking thing, and that's what you have there. And if you get rid of fucking AP, you lose that on just as a whole. I'm not going to say on offense because we need an offensive coordinator. That is clear. We've said this. Peggy said it, you said it, I've said it. We're clear. We need that on this team right now. We know it's not going to be Scott Turner. So we need that. But if you lose it at head coach, you lose the vision that AP has for the team. You lose the way the players are playing. They're bought into AP's vision. That's why they play hard. That's why they fucking won. That's why there's a chance they're going to go out and beat the Saints. They're not there to fucking lose. I love the fact that AP said, we're not playing for fucking fantasy. We're not playing for draft picks. We're playing for ourselves. He didn't say that word there. I'm putting it in there. What's the word? It's whatever. Anyways,
paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing that last part. But they're playing for them fucking selves. The name on the back, the fucking shield on the helmet, that's what they're playing for. A real professional player does not want to lose. They're not going to play to fucking lose. They're not just going to give up. Some of these players are playing for next year, whether it's on the Raiders because they still want to be there and they believe in the Raiders, or whether it's their next contract with another fucking team.
Yeah.
You can't show out and say, oh, look, I played well, but yeah, I was told to lose. So I did what my coach said. No, fuck that bullshit. I know Demon King, talking about, there was that whole saying, suck for luck, right? The Colts. Did they really fucking tank? Or were they just that bad? It was what it was. If they wanted to be that way,
they had 2 starting quarterbacks. One of them, I forgot his first name, but it was Painter. Painter was the quarterback, and he was kind of like the more decent one out of the 2. So it wasn't more like they were tanking. It's just Peyton Manning had the neck injury, so it was unsure of his future, not just with the Colts, but just as playing in the NFL, if he was going to retire. So he had that surgery in his neck. So it was just they were like us. We were trying to figure out who's going to be the quarterback and all that. So I don't think that they were a suck for luck, tanking for luck, but it just, you have two quarterbacks who were not that great. And I forget who the other starter was. I think it was no, I don't think I was gonna say somebody else. I don't think it was him. I think that's before Brisket, but Brisket, but the quarterback on the Patriots again now. But I think it was before him. But
Jacoby
Brisket. Brisket. I know, it's time for dinner. But it wasn't that they were tanking. It's just who was the starting quarterback. You had Painter and another guy who Painter played most of that season because he was, I guess, the more consistent quarterback out of the two, but he wasn't the answer. And that's what a lot of folks are looking at now. Well, we have Minshew and then we have O'Connell. Yeah, Minshew, he's done he's done for the season with the shoulder or with the
collarbone, broken collarbone.
With the collarbone, but he was inconsistent. And then when Aiden O'Connell came in, he didn't look all that great. But look at the difference between Getsy calling the plays and who can look at Getsy's play calling and be like, wait, so what were we trying to do? What was the identity in all this? Because we're trying to run shotgun on the 1 yard line to score a touchdown, and then instead of going forward, the offensive lineman is going sideways.
I saw it again today in the Ravens fucking Texans game, and guess what ended up happening? Another fucking safety. You don't run shotgun where you put your running back and quarterback into the goddamn end zone. Okay? Fucking, you're talking about Henry, one of the best running backs probably you can put to play the game, depending on how you feel. A great running back who got a safety because he started off in his goddamn end zone. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
But like you said, the whole game, except for the one time when they went to spike the ball, Ritter was in shotgun. You limited him. Even the announcers were saying, why don't you go under center, change shit up, give your team a chance. That's a game we could have won. I guarantee if O'Connell was in that game, we'd be on a 2-game fucking winning streak.
Yeah.
And most of Raider Nation would be so fucking furious right now, just like they're going to be if we beat the Saints, because we got a 2-game winning streak. We got now 4 wins because they didn't get what they fucking wanted. Yes. And I know what people's argument. And I go, and I'm not saying anybody's wrong. You want us to tank, that's your opinion. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I just don't agree with it.
I mean, and I was going to say it's a valid thinking because you're like, okay, you know what? We ain't going nowhere this season. Let's just try our best. Let's just try to get a high draft pick. So just in case we don't have to give up as much to go to one of the top, let's say 1 or 2 picks to get what we want or what we need, or, anyone's preference, whatever. If it's, we want a quarterback or if we need a quarterback. And I know what it looks right now, we need a quarterback in the eyes of the majority. We need a quarterback. We needed it for the last couple of years now. Over here, we're Team Ramrod. we believe in O'Connell. Everyone says he could be a great backup, but you look at how he played in this last game. He was like,
he's a franchise quarterback. I've said it. I think he can be a franchise quarterback. He just has not had the opportunities with the offensive line, or just the simple fact of how he was used through his last 2 seasons.
Hollywood.
What's up, Wood? I just don't think he's been used right. He came in as the 3rd string quarterback, went from 3rd string straight to starter. Played fucking well. Then he comes in saying he's going to be the starter. He's earned the starting job. And then all of a sudden, somehow Minshew wins it. And he has to wait another fucking 9 games, whatever it was, to fucking get the starting job. And yes, did he have some rust? Sure. Did he get injured? Yes, he did. But when he's come out, he's been able to handle this bad offensive line. He's been the only one.
A shaky running game.
And the shaky running game. He's been there. He had us, I got into that argument a little bit, when they said Ritter was the only one who brought us close to a win. But then what about O'Connell against the fucking Chiefs? He had us for a second time in Arrowhead on a fucking quote-unquote holiday, game, damn near ready to win that game. I think O'Connell could do it. Let's give the chance. I have faith in O'Connell. I know not a lot of people do. Like you said that they say he's a backup quarterback. But let's fucking see what we got. Let's work on the shit that's going to help him be a better quarterback and see if that's the problem. Whether we draft, if we draft the quarterback, I still want him to sit for the year. I still want O'Connell to start to see what we got. Then you have the option of, okay, O'Connell's played well. Now, do we trade O'Connell? Do we start O'Connell that next year and let that whoever we drafted sit a second year? Or do we trade whoever the fuck we drafted because O'Connell seems to be the answer? Don't throw away a chance of a guy who's going to go somewhere else and fucking blow it up. Don't you remember hearing last year or the end of this year, whatever it was, when there was talks about trading O'Connell, and there are teams, I guarantee there's teams right now waiting to hear O'Connell's going to get traded. Why? Because they want him. They see him as the franchise quarterback, and they know if they give him an offensive line, he's going to be able to fucking work those miracles that they're expecting to work.
Well, you know, how about this example? How about what are the Vikings going to do? Because J.J. McCarthy, who was one of the top quarterbacks that was drafted early in last year's draft, gets injured against the Raiders in the preseason game, out for the season. I think it was an ACL, out for the season. Sam Darnold, who bounced around, he was a Jets number one pick, but he was the Jets, Jets, their number one pick in the draft. He came out, then a couple years there, or didn't work out there, went down to Carolina for one season, didn't fit there, went to the Niners, was a backup over there behind Purdy, maybe saw like a little bit of action, whatever, goes to Minnesota, probably assuming he's going to be the backup behind J.J. McCarthy because you know they were going to start him. They were going to start him because he's the rookie, he's the guy. He gets hurt. Sam Darnold, he's having a year this year. He's having a year. So what did the Vikings do?
He's on a one-year contract.
But I'm saying is, what are the Vikings going to do?
They're probably going to let him walk.
Because, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, but you got a quarterback that showed consistency in this system with O'Connell, the coach, and he showed, you know, he's been consistent. I guess he's the guy that the Jets were saw coming out of college. He developed to that guy. He's, you know.
That all comes back to schemes and of the offensive coordinator and the coach. Some players are better fits for certain schemes than they are. He didn't have the right scheme with the Jets. He didn't have the right scheme with the 49ers. He didn't have the right scheme with what was that other team you said? Carolina.
The Panthers, yeah.
Panthers. But when he went to the Vikings, all of a sudden that scheme fit his playing style. They had players around him, such as Jefferson, such as, God damn it, who's the tight end? Hawkinson. You know, I don't know about that. I don't know. But with the way he played this year, I'm not necessarily against it. I'm not against that. Sign a Sam Darnold. Let him sit behind O'Connell. Whoever you fucking draft, because I'm assuming we're going to draft a quarterback this year. I'm hoping it's obviously the second pick, the Oregon kid, or somebody else later on, not one of the first, because we're not going to be positioned to win those first two. I don't want to sell the farm for, for Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. I don't want to do it. I'm fine with all this. All I'm saying is give O'Connell a fair fucking shake for once, because he hasn't had it yet, and then fix the fucking O-line. And let's see what this team could do. Okay, get a running back if you think the running back's there. We got Lauba. We've got different choices. But, maybe it is Sincere McCormick and fucking Zamir White is our running backs. We don't know. Because both of them did good in the short period of time they had when they were thrown into the shit. Zamir White had no fucking, no luck this year. But was that a Getsy or is that a Zamir White? We don't know yet. Get an offensive coordinator. I say give him a shot. Sincere McCormick, the same thing. You get an offensive line. even a mediocre running back can run successfully behind an offensive line and still get you positive yards. He might not be the guy to get 12,000 yards, 1,200 yards, all that other shit. You know,
I gotta agree with what John said. If you sign a Sam Darnold, because he's gonna want the money. Like, look what I did in Minnesota. And especially to come to the Raiders, like you said, Asylum, you got to overplay these players. If you're going to sign Sam Darnold for what he's doing now in Minnesota, because he's looking better than what Minshew looked like with the Colts last year.
Yeah.
If you sign Sam Darnold has to be the starter regardless. He's going to be the starter. That's what's going to.
I'm okay with Najee Harris in free agency, and I don't disagree with you or John here about if he comes, he would be the starter. I'm not disagreeing. But again, we've seen it happen. Let's say O'Connell beats him out in preseason. Right? You have to be willing to sit a guy just because you brought him in. We talked about, it's been said, Minshew might have only got the job because of what he's getting paid for the year. How well did that work out? You don't just play a guy because he's getting paid more than another guy if the other guy is better.
And that's what happened with Derek Carr when he beat out Matt Schaub. Not saying Matt Schaub was like this, Texans. No, he was okay enough for the Texans to have the mediocre success they did during that time, but they brought in Matt Schaub, and he and Derek Carr in his rookie year ended up beating him, especially on that last game against the Seattle Seahawks, and I think it was Seattle in that preseason game where he just lit it up like 3-4 touchdowns. And the same thing with Pryor when he beat out the other Matt Flynn, when they traded for him to come down from Seattle. They traded him to come play for the Raiders, and he got beat out by I just said his name, by Terrell Pryor, and Terrell Pryor wasn't the greatest thrower at the time. Eventually he switched over to receiver, but
Terrell Pryor wasn't the greatest quarterback. We know what he wanted to play. He was a better wide receiver than he was a quarterback. I'll say
So we've had that situation kind of recently where you brought in a guy who was slotted to be that quarterback, but either the rookie or the one behind or behind him or whatever outplayed him to the point where it's like, well, you can't just not start the guy who, preseason whatever, but he looked better than the guy we brought in. So we kind of got to go with the hot hand, and that's what we didn't really do in the beginning of the season.
And it's going to come down to whoever the offensive coordinator you bring in is. Maybe O'Connell fits or doesn't fit his style and somebody else does. So you bring that guy in. Maybe it's a Sam Darnold. Fits his style better, right? Okay. I'm fine with that. Maybe O'Connell. I mean, I see Darnold and O'Connell as similar quarterbacks. Maybe Darnold being a little bit more mobile.
And more experienced.
And more experience. But after this last game, I saw a lot of mobility out of fucking Aiden O'Connell. So he's showing that he can do it. But, there's similar style quarterbacks. So maybe it does become a battle. Maybe he says, I don't need a Sam Darnold because I have an Aiden O'Connell, but we drafted so-and-so, and I want him to sit. This is what's going to happen. Maybe AP just comes up and says, you know what? I did this fucking once. I'm not doing it again. As long as I'm head coach, O'Connell's my guy, and that's who we're fucking running with.
Yeah.
And then we either, sink or swim with that decision.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to a lot of things. We have to see how the offseason plays out. Draft, free agency, who the fuck we get as offensive coordinator, and go. Right now, there's a whole lot of speculation. Everybody wants this, that, or the other. Here's the other thing for the guys who are saying we need to tank, right? We need Shedeur Sanders. We need a Cam Ward. What happens if the offensive coordinator you bring in does not like a mobile quarterback, wants a pocket passer because he can fix the O-line and the run game and be able to work with a quarterback who can fucking sit there and manage the game? And what are they going to say? Oh my God, we made the wrong pick. We didn't get the quarterback that we wanted, but the OC, they're not even giving him a chance to fucking install anything, see what he can do. He's automatically wrong. AP's automatically wrong because they didn't make the choice that these armchair quarterbacks, people like us who have opinions, and that's all they are opinions on what should be done. And, you know, it's all wrong. But they'll be the first ones to jump onto the fucking bandwagon the minute they start winning.
And this is what I'm talking about. This comment right here.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying is, what is the Vikings going to do? Like, okay, well, thank you for your services, Sam Darnold. You did a great job. We're going to go back to the rookie. That's like, and I'm just comparing the situation. Thank you, Doug Flutie, for helping the Bills get us to the playoffs. But since Rob Johnson is now ready to come back after his concussion, and I know you were the hot hand, and this is not Wade Phillips' decision. This was the upper management, because even he had said after, you know, it wasn't my decision. I wanted to go with the hot hand, but the guys upstairs. But thank you very much, Doug Flutie, for helping the Bills get to the playoffs. But we're going to go back to the guy we got, you know, we're going to go back to Johnson and then have him take over. Miracle and the Music City Miracle. First game of that playoff game. And that was it. Rob Johnson ended up becoming a Raider.
That's what I'm saying right there.
Yeah. Sorry, and that's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. But with going to the Vikings, the comment about the Vikings, what are they going to do? Like, okay, you got McCarthy as a rookie. So I can see if the Vikings, I guess depending on how much Sam Darnold wants, if the Vikings were smart enough, they're going to keep Sam Darnold, keep him on the roster to, if anything, allow J.J. McCarthy to develop and not have that pressure to be the guy to win now. Go in there, win now. Okay. You know, you have Sam Darnold, who is now running an offense. Their offense is looking good. And, you know, they're in the playoffs. I think they're second seed behind the Lions, I believe. They're I think.
I'll look real quick for you.
So the smart thing would be to keep Sam Darnold and have them, the Vikings, develop J.J. McCarthy. So when it is time to move along from Sam Darnold, you have J.J. McCarthy, kind of like the Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation, or even kind of like the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers situation, where you have the future grooming.
They are the fifth seed.
Oh, they're the fifth? Oh, wow. I got to update one. But I know Lions are one.
They're the fourth seed right now, but they're the fifth seed right now, the Vikings.
Okay, I thought. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, they're in the same division as the Lions. My bad. Yeah, my bad. Probably like what record-wise they're up there, but because they're underneath the Lions, they got to be the first. They're going to be the first wild card team. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's sometimes how the playoffs are so stupid that way. But it is. Hey, your division sucks, and you get in at 8-8 or 8.
The AFC West right now is ready to put 3 teams into the fucking playoffs. So right, isn't that the strongest division in fucking NFL?
Yeah.
Based off of that stat alone.
Yeah. And going to what John said, no, that's what I'm saying is that depending on what Sam Darnold is asking for, or basically like, okay, who's the highest bidder, the Vikings will be smart to keep him on the roster, stay the starter until it's time to.
The Vikings
the Vikings would be smarter. Sorry, the Vikings would be smarter to keep him. Yeah,
they'd be smart to do it right now. Give him that extension so there is no free agency and nobody could get a chance to outbid him. But I believe they have faith in J.J. McCarthy, and that's why this is what it is. He came in to be the backup to J.J. McCarthy, and I don't see him staying with the Vikings because he does not want to come in to be the backup.
Yeah, because of what he showed and what he put on tape.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be like, well, hey, look what I did. So, no, I'm not going to come in and just to sit back again. I've proven what I can do. Pay me, play me. So, but
I don't disagree.
Going back to the game, we won, and some folks were happy. But Asylum, you do have insane plays. I know we're getting close to 2 hours, whatever. But we gotta, long discussion because that's what we're going to be talking about for the next after the last game of the season, after that Charger game. This is what's going to be. We're all going to talk about who's going to be head coach if they don't do anything out there. Well, you'll probably find out that Monday after the game, but basically, who's
Mark Davis likes to stretch shit out.
Yeah. Well, who's going to be the head coach, offensive coordinator, and what are we going to do in the draft? So that will be the discussion. It's talked about now. It turns into a big debate. Tank for the draft or just win, baby. That's how it is nowadays. You got two, both sides of the spectrum. There's no in between. That's how it is. But anyway, let's move on.
There is no in the middle.
And podcasters like us, and like the ones that sway to Tank, and then us that sway to I just want to see some winning football. I don't care if it's a meaningless game or whatever. I just want to be like, yeah, my team won, and we don't have to hear guys like in the comments of Douglas talking, even though I don't know why he's talking because the Niners are virtually out of it. So
no, not virtually, they are.
No, they are. It's official. Okay, well they're out of it. Yeah, they're out of it. So
they're sitting on the couch with us. I don't give a fuck if they have however many more wins. They're on the couch with us, so he's got no room to talk.
Yeah, and we had talked about this, John. We feel that maybe even Bieniemy, getting fired from UCLA, whatever happened down there, and what happened in Washington when they moved on from the Chiefs. I think they let him go. I don't know if it's mutual, or whatever, but
it could be. You might be right.
But he could be on all right, I got to prove myself back into the NFL. Well, it depends on if he wants the job. But hey, he could come in
to go to North Carolina with Belichick right now.
Yeah. So,
but Bieniemy is available, and probably the most experienced offensive coordinator who can be available as of right now, as of today.
Yeah,
probably the most experienced offensive coordinator out there to be able to get.
And we want to say,
he likes that choice.
And I've been watching the viewers up here, and we stayed above 10. So we appreciate everybody on a Christmas night watching our show. We appreciate you for watching our show. We still have to Christmas ends on a Wednesday, so whether you like it, whether we're a present or a coal in your stocking, we're here though. So.
Hey,
if we're cold, light the fire.
We're dependable.
Yes.
You just start the barbecue, start the fucking fireplace, or enjoy the sexiness that we bring back to the fucking Raider Nation. Whichever it is.
And what did they say? The best ability is
availability.
And we are available to do what we got to do, whether you agree or disagree. Hey, there was I was nosy and jumped to Facebook for me. We're here and we're doing a show, and we appreciate those who are watching. This is probably one of this is one of the best live viewerships we've had, so we appreciate you. Maybe you're bored, maybe you're sick and tired of the claymation movies on. I saw this every year. Okay, I'm tired. I want to see the Rudolph, the reindeer do whatever. Yeah, well, you know what? We are now, the Raiders are the land of misfit toys, okay? Now we're just trying to find our Rudolph, whether he's on the roster or not. We're all just trying to find our Rudolph to shine bright through the fog and everything so we can deliver victories for all our needy Raider fans who want our victories. But Asylum, there was a victory that happened against the Jaguars, meaningless or not. It did happen right before Christmas. That's the title of it. Was an act of Santa.
I wanted that W, and they delivered.
Yes. Whether it was an act of Santa to some or an act of the Grinch to most with the draft position, there was a game, and I know you have insane plays. I know I tried to bring it up before, and then this is what we do. It's a debate show. With, whether it's us two, Miss Peggy, or people in the comments, agree, disagree. We're not going to shun you for how you feel, like other shows do.
We can agree.
We understand.
We could agree to disagree.
Yes. So Asylum, you have insane plays. Let's get your insane plays going. Here are Asylum's. I got it. Here are Asylum's insane plays.
Asylum's insane playmakers.
All right, let's get your music ready. Let's get your music ready right here. Boom. And here we go. Insane plays start now.
I don't hear my music. Oh, there it is. All right, well, we're going to start off with Pop Powers here. I mean, this play alone right there put him over 1,000 yards. He's 9 yards away from breaking a, what did we say it was, 63-year-old
63.
63-year-old record.
Shouts out to the cousin, John Wayne.
What's up, John Wayne? Anyways, I mean, he's about to be there. I mean, I know we haven't had a lot of insane playmakers for the season, but he's been on the board damn near every fucking game. He was, I'm going to call it steal of the draft, calling the 13, however you want to call it. He has been the lone bright spot on the team, doing what needs to be done, going for every goddamn record. I'm just a little disappointed. There's one record he's not going to get, not even close, and that's rookie tight end touchdown.
Yeah.
But he's about to own every other rookie tight end, possibly wide receiver, and overall records by himself in his rookie year. That's a generational player. That's the kind of players you want on your team. And I'm glad we got him at number 13.
Yeah. And those two plays, first pass from O'Connell, he goes down with 30 plus yards down the field to break. I mean, not to
32 yards.
30 to get over the 1,000-yard mark as a rookie tight end, and then that play right here, that last one where he made that catch to make the first down, that was where he went over 100 catches, finished that game with 101. So, and that's in 15 games. 2 more games left with the records we showed earlier. So,
yeah.
The bright spot this season, the guy we drafted is showing production on that first game. That first season where we see a lot of first-round drafts kind of fizzle out. So, insane player right there.
Insane player, no. And like I said, he could easily be on this list every goddamn week.
Yes. On to ready? Next one?
We've been on it a few times, but I mean, we could have done it. I could have just done a single player on some of these other bad games, and it would have been just him. Hands down.
Yes. All right, here's the next one right here.
Who do we got? There we go. We got safety, Isaiah Palamau. These 2 fumbles. We were talking about him stepping in for Marcus Epps, and they said, we only had 1 forced fumble that we recovered all season. Palamau by himself. Look at that punch right there. Nothing to do with the.
It looked like Charles Woodson.
Right there. Tank Bigsby only had 2 fumbles in the season, not a single one lost until that game. And then I believe it was Savage, their tight end, which was right here, took a shot. Palamau, I mean, we did not get fumble recoveries. We were struggling with recoveries. Bam! Right there. I mean, those were key points in the game. They were big things. Too bad we didn't get the points we wanted off of them. But Palamau gave us the ball back twice, gave us a chance to dominate in this game. And on defense, he is, the defensive insane playmaker of the game.
Yeah, John said we got good depth on defense.
And we do, though. But that's what it is. And that came from what? The draft, what we talked about earlier. You draft for depth for these reasons. Palamau's in the game now to do what he did to make Asylum's insane playmakers for this week because of the injury to Marcus Epps.
All right, here we go, right here. The big man, right here.
And okay, I'm putting Hayden O'Connell as the insane playmaker for this week because of this right here. Look at the run. He had 2 runs called back. At one point in the game, he was the leading rusher of the team. Okay, everyone calls him a statue. He's not mobile. Not only did you see him running for first down, running in open space, but you saw him moving around the pocket, and we're going to see the play coming up, which was a big play to win the game. I mean, look at that. For a statue, he moves pretty goddamn good, doesn't he?
Yep.
Is it this play? Yeah, this play here. Look, mobility in the pocket, under pressure, and still got the ball to Abdullah for the first down to continue going for us to come back and win this game. So everybody who says he's not mobile, and we showed college clips a lot, now we have professional clips of him doing it. Like you said, I was seeing nicknames during the game, right after the game. It was Aiden Vick or Crazy Legs O'Connell. We're going to figure out, we'll let the chat decide which nickname he's going to get. But goddamn it, you cannot say Aiden O'Connell cannot learn and see the mobility. He knows what he has to do. He's starting to do everything you need to do. And that there is why Aiden O'Connell is running. And that's what did it. Made Asylum's insane playmakers of the game.
And speaking of nicknames for AOC 12, I know we have one. We're not gonna reveal it yet because we want to see how he looks the next two games. But if he can throw bombs, if he can continue to throw bombs like he did against the Chiefs on that Friday night or what's the Friday afternoon game, that Black Friday game, we got a name for him, and I'll make a graphic and everything because I already have that vision going. What we're gonna name him, and maybe it'll catch fire if he does become that guy. And I know people are like, nah, it's not gonna work. He's fourth round draft pick and all that, whatever. But hey, we'll see.
You mean
We'll see.
Farva?
Outside of Farva. So we'll go and see how he looks in these games. But from there,
crazy like right here.
Oh yeah, the way he was running, all he has to do is learn how to slide, and once he does that, maybe
he did slide on some of those runs though. He did good.
That one play where he got tackled from behind, he was like, I'm trying to get more yards, and they got him by the shoelace, and he ended up rolling over, and I got nervous because he does have that bone bruise in his knee, and he did have the volleyball knee pad to protect him. That's something I would do. I'm not going to don't give me no fancy cast. Just give me a sock with some padding on it. I'll put it on my leg. Let's go, okay?
No, you know what they talked about? Was the volleyball knee pad he had on. The minute they brought that up, he took off for that first run. They got called back for a hold, but they said it was that volleyball knee pad that he was wearing that made him think he could run. So as far as I'm concerned, wear it for the next two games because we're going to need those legs. We're going to need those legs.
Yeah, so there you go, Asylum. Your insane plays. Right there. AOC 12. Crazy Legs O'Connell. Aiden, call him Aiden Ovick. Aiden Ovick.
That's a whole different kind of thing. I'm not bearing just a little bit.
All right. Well, speaking of sliding, now we're towards the end of the show. So, speaking of learning how to slide, there was one man who not just slid, but he would steal. Okay, they called him the Man of Steel. He passed away on the 20th, so it was this past Friday.
Okay.
Yes. Passed away. It was this past Friday, and they said it was due to complications of leukemia. So
I did not hear what it was about.
I'm sorry, it was leukemia. My bad. Pneumonia. My bad. Pneumonia. I saw it in my head like, wait, that wasn't it. Pneumonia. It was pneumonia. He passed away at UCSF hospital. I'm sorry. Pneumonia. Not leukemia. Pneumonia. Whatever. I messed up. Okay.
We want to get it right. It was pneumonia.
Yes. Rickey Henderson. Big time. He spent four stints with the A's, drafted with the A's in 1976. That's how long he played, 25 seasons. Drafted in 1976. In his Hall of Fame speech, he said, when I was coming out of college, I had, he could have went to the football, he could have went to basketball, he could have went to baseball, and he wanted to play for the Oakland Raiders, and his mom told him, nah, you're going to play baseball because I don't want you to get hurt. So,
that's Back then, the Raiders played hard too, so there was a good chance that could have happened.
Yes, he is widely regarded as baseball's greatest leadoff hitter and base runner. He holds Major League Baseball records for career stolen bases, runs, unintentional walks. Unintentional walks. I know Barry Bonds has the walks in general, but they didn't want him to bomb on him.
Yeah, a lot of those were intentional.
Yeah. Because he had that, he crouched, so he shrunk his strike zone, so they had to find a way to get in the middle of that strike zone, and he was able to generate walks, and then once he got on base, it was over. It was over.
I mean, like you said, regarded as really the best leadoff hitter in baseball, hands down. And then once he's on the bases, I mean, I think he had a total of 1,400 and I don't remember. It was 1,400 plus stolen bases.
1,406.
06?
Yeah.
Okay.
1,406.
1,406 stolen bases, and I think that's going to be a record that stands for a very long time. I mean, when he broke the record, it was only 900 and was it 939?
939 I think it was.
939. And then he added an extra 500, damn near 500 stolen bases after that. I mean, that man, pitchers hated it when he was on base. Plain and simple. He caused balks. When he was there, he had that first step that fucking was, he could not only read the pitcher, but that first step of his when he took off was amazing. And I believe he was rarely picked off. If I remember correctly, he didn't have a lot of pickoffs because he was just a very sound base runner, very sound stolen base king.
He knew a lot of pitchers that he knew. I guess he never was afraid of them trying to, let's say he's on first. He wasn't afraid for the pitcher to try to pick him off at first because he knew he would basically try to bait him to do that. He liked to get into the head of the pitchers. So once they finally lifted their leg to go forward to the home plate, he was gone. He was gone. You had to have a great a catcher back there to and then try to pick him off at the next base. So he was good at that.
And that head first slide. He was always getting in there.
I did the head when I played baseball, and then going into after your high school career, you're not going to college to play baseball, but you go and play like the slow pitch softball leagues where you can slide, or I played fast pitch softball where you can slide and whatever. I was always doing head first still like Rickey Henderson. I just so and then Rickey Henderson being he was born in Chicago, but he was his family moved. They went to the Bay Area. I believe he lived in Hayward. He also lived in San Leandro, but went to Oakland Tech. He was Raider fan. He wants to play for the Raiders, A's, and all that. So he had his 4 stints, and I do have that graphic here. You see 25 years in the league for 9 different teams, 4 different stints with the Oak. He just always came back to the A's because that was his hometown team. Drafted by the A's, was there from 79 to 84, came back from 89, that earthquake season where he won the World Series, to 93, then came back 94 to 95, and then his last stint was in 1998. He did win his second World Series with the Blue Jays when he went over there in 1993. Played for the Yankees, 2 stints with the Padres, played for the Angels, the New York Mets, which he also was on the coaching staff 1 season for the New York Mets after he retired, Seattle Mariners, the Red Sox, ended his career with the Dodgers, and was a first ballot Hall of Famer in 2009.
I'm glad he was able to make it while he was alive.
Yes.
All bullshit.
Yeah, like a lot of Raiders players do. Have to go through is waiting, and then you see like Stabler or Tom
Flores fucking
Tom Flores. He got to he made it to the Hall of Fame and when he was still alive. But Cliff Branch, so Rickey Henderson, first ballot Hall of Famer. right after retiring, when it was his time to go to Hall of Fame, he was inducted. You look at his career highlights and awards right here: 10-time All-Star, 1980, and then from 82 to 88, 1990, 1991, two-time World Series champion, 89 with the A's, 93 with the Blue Jays, AL MVP 1990, ALCS MVP 1989, the Earthquake Series against the Giants. So going into that, the series before going into that World Series, he was the MVP, Golden Glove Award winner, outfielder, left fielder in 1981, three-time Silver Slugger Award, 81, 85, and 90, 12-time AL stolen base leader, 1980 through 86, 88 through 91, and 98. His number is retired with the A's, number 24. He's in the A's Hall of Fame, and also, like I said,
number in Oakland.
Yes, Willie Brown, Charles Woodson, Rickey Henderson. His records, like you were saying, Asylum, 1,406 career stolen bases, 2,295 career runs, and 130 stolen bases in a single season. So right there, that's the greatness of Rickey Henderson. And, here at the cage match, we wanted to make sure, because today would have been his birthday. He would have been 66. So
I was glad to see him break the stolen base record as an Oakland A.
Yeah.
Not as a Yankee, not as anybody else, but as an Oakland A. That, to me, I got to see that live on TV, and that was just one of those things that you may never, like I said, 1,400 stolen bases. I don't know if somebody might break it, but it's going to be, like that Mike Ditka record we're talking about, with the tight ends. That's going to be a long-standing record before it gets broke. It's going to take a special person to break that record.
Yeah, and then the way baseball keeps changing the rules every year, making it faster, a play clock basically with the pitchers and all that. I don't see that rule. I don't see that record ever getting broken. So we wanted to hear, as Oakland Raider fans growing up and also Oakland A's fans going to the Coliseum and everything, we wanted to make sure that we give our condolences to the Henderson family. And, as Oakland A's fans, whatever this new owner's doing, whatever, but as Oakland A's fans, a lot of us were surprised from that news. And I know it wasn't confirmed right away, because I guess they were making sure that it wasn't no hoax, because no one knew that he was, I don't want to say.
Nobody knew he was sick.
Yeah.
Nobody knew he was in the hospital.
Yeah, and in his last appearance, out in public really was that last game in Oakland. I was at that game, that very last game in Oakland in September. Yeah, in September, that last game in Oakland, I was there at that game. I think it was him and Dave Stewart, I believe, was the two that threw the ceremonial pitch, the last pitch for that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, so
I'm surprised Eckersley wasn't there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I want to say it was that game. That for me personally, this year has been a hard year for me to remember a lot of things because of what happened. I'm also honoring my grandma's birthday was last week, so which she had recently passed. So my mind has not really been where I can remember things, like off the top of my head, because I was there, but I wasn't there, so it's hard for me to remember these things right now because this year, whatever. But that was his last appearance, was in the final series when the A's their last series, the last home stand in Oakland. So we wanted to, like I said, just give a shout out to Rickey Henderson, who has passed away December 20th of this year, so a few days ago. Today would have been his birthday on Christmas Day. We're having a short Christmas Day. Yeah, so
forever a legend.
Yes, forever a legend. And I guess you can say on Christmas Day, the baseball gods gave us a legend, which was Rickey Henderson. So we want to say rest in peace, Rickey Henderson. And we also want to say thank you for all those who watched our show on a Christmas evening. Our viewers are still up. If you haven't yet, and this is your first time and you like what we do, go there on YouTube, subscribe, give us that like button, subscribe, whatever. Asylum knows how to say this better than me, so do all that.
Subscribe to the channel, keep us in the algorithm, show us, all that shit. Not only shows us that you want us to continue to make the content that we're creating, but it helps us get out there to the other fans who might be interested in watching a show of our quality.
Yes. We like amongst me and Asylum, we always try to say like the Raider slogan, one of the many Raider slogans. There are 31,000 other podcasts out there. Then there's the cage match.
Then there's the cage match.
Then there's the cage match. We like to be different. Any last words? Asylum, Christmas, Rickey Henderson.
RIP to Rickey Henderson. Thoughts and prayers out to his family. Merry Christmas to everybody who's watching or going to watch this. Thank you again, Peggy, for coming on. Thank you, everybody in the chats. Even though we don't necessarily agree with what people are saying in the chats or who have come on, we had somebody who wanted to come on the show because he wasn't agreeing with us. We're not afraid to have you on the show, but we wanted to give Peggy her time because this is a Peggy time. You want to come, Jose? You want to come on? Maybe next week we'll bring you on. To everybody, just because we don't agree, it's okay to disagree. That's why we do this. We're just trying to give a different view on things, our opinion, what facts that we can bring you. It's okay. In the Christmas spirit, we love everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I hope everybody has a happy new year.
Yes. And I want to do, I'm looking at the likes and everything. And even though we rag on Douglas Sinclair, who be coming into the comments and be saying some radical random things, he's always showing love and giving us a like. So if you're still watching Douglas Sinclair, even though I can't stand your takes because you're just way out there in space, bruh. But you show us love.
What the fuck he's trying to say?
You show us love. You watch our show. You show us love, and you give us a viewer. So you give us a view. So even though we don't, whatever you're trying to say, we do appreciate at least you give us a like and all that, whatever. Because whether you agree with us, don't agree with us, whether you're a big Raider fan or not a fan of the Raiders, different team, whatever this and that,
whatever it is.
Yeah, we try to be like the old conversations at the Oakland Coliseum in the parking lot at the tailgates, where I might disagree with you, but you know what? At the end of the whole thing, hey, I'm just enjoying my time, drinking a beer, and get ready to watch another Raider game, whether we're gonna win, lose, or tie. Like they say, like we say, it's Raider Nation till I die. And we're all here wanting the same thing. We just want to see winning, consistent football, no matter how they do it, no matter what they do. Just win, baby.
Well, Jeff, you know what? I love talking shit to you, and I'm still going to talk shit whether you're sick or not.
Yeah, so like I said, no matter what, we drop the quarterback, keep AP, leave it, whatever. It's at the end. It went from just win, baby, to just win, baby. Come on, man. Just win. Consistently, just win, man. Come on, man. The shield, man. The shield. Come on, man. So with that, I want to say thank you and appreciate everybody who's watching the show, especially those who watched the whole show on Christmas night. And then for those who are watching it on the playback, we appreciate you. Usually we end every show with the word from Raider Milt, but because this is Rickey Henderson's birthday, he just missed his 66th birthday by a few days. We're going to end it with Rickey Henderson. Rest in peace, Rickey Henderson, Oakland legend, baseball legend. And for fans, hey, he might not be here, but hey, legends,
Legends never die.
Legends never die. So we want to say thank you for everybody for watching the show. We appreciate you. We'll be back on Friday where we talk about what could have been the rematch against Derek Carr, but probably not because of his injury, concussion, broken hand, whatever it is. So with that, we say thank you. And hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas. And we'll see you on Friday. Maybe we might have a guest. Maybe,
Maybe.
But we'll see you.
We'll see. Never know with the cage match.
Yes, never know with the cage match. So we'll see you on Friday. Rest in peace, Rickey Henderson. Everyone take care and enjoy with your families.
Took a long time, huh? First of all, I would like to thank God for giving me that opportunity. I want to thank the Haas family, the Oakland organization, the city of Oakland, and all y'all beautiful fans for supporting me. Luke Brock was the symbol of great base stealing, but today I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.